this out while we're.
Yeah. Since I just started while you were playing.
Started and and we got sound.
We do have sound.
Cool. I'm gonna turn mine down.
Okay. Hey, good morning, everybody. By the way,
good morning. We're here.
We're here after 2 weeks off.
Yeah. Wow, that was weird.
Yeah. Well,
that was weird.
BJ was working at a strip club in Tijuana, and I couldn't make bail for 2 weeks, so there we go.
Yeah.
Or we just had real life stuff that just got in the way, which happens.
Yeah. My daughter is moving back in.
Yeah.
We just got rid of her, but no, she just moved out. I shouldn't say it that way, but so we're working on that, and I had to take care of a couple things for a little while. Just that life thing gets in the way.
Yeah. Kind of sucks, but the alternative is not that great either. So.
So my granddaughter starts first grade, and it is just so funny to see how excited she is. Her backpack is already ready to go by the door, and she even has her outfit picked out already. She got to meet her teacher yesterday, so now she's like excited because one more sleep.
Oh my God.
So I know when I get home, it's going to be one more sleep. Yep. So last night she goes, Grandpa, I only have 2 sleeps, right? Yes, you only have 2 sleeps, and then you go to school. So she's really excited. And then she was a little worried about, the not having any friends, not knowing anybody in her class. Well, we went to the meet and greet, and 3 of her closest best friends were there. And so she's got 3 of her good friends there. So she's excited. And her teacher's a sweet lady. It's really funny because I get there and I walk up with her and I go to sign in. And I said, "This is Camille." And she looks and says, "Hi, Camille." And she looks up at me and looks at me and looks and says, "I know you." She's seen me play a few times. She goes, "You're a musician." I went, "Yes, I am." She named a couple. She seen me at the Bean and Amaro. So it was pretty funny.
Wow.
Wow, that was cool.
Sorry, I just got a little bit sidetracked.
Yeah.
So I'm posting the show up online, and I get to Radio New Mexico because I post there as well.
Yeah.
Even though we're Enchantment Broadcasting now, but might as well post in both places. And it shows Roundtable, January 27th, 2021. And take a look at the guy sitting beside me.
Oh my gosh.
With that blonde hair.
The blonde hair, that's right. Oh yeah, that's an experiment that lasted a while.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. I actually kind of liked it.
Yeah,
but it got hard.
You got to try this stuff.
Yeah, it was hard to keep up with.
Yeah. I've been doing my little experiment. So I'm liking this. It's getting past that really horrible, I look like Margot, what's her name from That Girl, with the little flips on the side. Those are going away finally, so that's a good thing.
There's a certain length that when I started growing my hair out, and it would grow in different directions, and it was really hard to. I'd either just blow dry it into submission every morning. But when I was in high school, this one hairdresser that I went to recommended that I perm the back of my hair to get it under control. And of course, my first thought is no, but she was really hot. So I'm like, okay. And that was not a good choice. Well, it was a good choice because she did it right to where it was just the back. So the back was just perm, not the top. Well, one time I went to another hairdresser and I told her just perm the back because it was growing in different directions so that by the time the curls came out, my hair would be longer and it would be straight. Well, she did my whole head and I was like, oh, it did not go well. That did not look well.
Yeah.
Luckily, I went home and I washed it immediately. And for anybody that has watched Legally Blonde knows that you're not supposed to do that. Otherwise, the curls will fall. Well, the curls fell and just enough to where it looked better.
I'm sorry. I said yes. What I meant was, what's Legally Blonde?
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so I've seen both movies repeatedly, and I've seen the musical.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
What can I say? I was a big fan of that. By the way, just a little bit of wisdom that I found online just a second ago.
Okay.
If you think you were smarter than the previous generation, 50 years ago, the owner's manual of a car showed you how to adjust the valves. Today, it warns you not to drink the contents of the battery.
I totally get that. It's like, I love the one. Let's just take the warning labels off of everything and let natural selection figure everything out.
Yeah.
It's like, I love Bill Engvall when he talked about preparation H says on the tube, do not take orally. And it's like, that somebody wrote a letter and said, I took this whole tube.
I could make a joke about a guy on TV, but that would come out a little bit political, so I'll avoid today. Yeah, but if you're doing your show and you're doing this face,
yeah,
there are certain jokes you can't get mad at people make. So yeah, where was I?
It's just it is funny to look at some of the warning labels. I love the one where they show the coyote, the Roadrunner and coyote clip or picture, and they said they didn't have to tell us not to try this at home because we weren't complete idiots.
Oh yeah. By the way, big shout out to one of our musical friends out here, Luis Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday he got featured, and I'm sorry, I don't really understand the entirety of what this means, but I know it is a big deal. But he was featured on the front page of Twitch all day.
Wow.
So it's kind of a big thing. I know he was up there playing, which man, I haven't heard him play in so long.
Yeah.
And I don't have Twitch, so I didn't hear it. I'm just now figuring out how to use Instagram a little bit.
Yeah.
So I tagged you yesterday on Instagram. I've never tagged anybody on Instagram before.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, whoa, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I haven't paid attention to my Instagram much. I just have posts going over there for the nail business. And
I
don't really go into it much.
Oh yeah. Well, it's difficult. And basically what happened is Damian Luna tagged me in a post, and I got the notification of what he had said partially. I went to find it and couldn't find it. And I messed around in Instagram for a very long time, just trying to find where it was. And I finally found it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, it was a woman on there that she is giving away a Fender Tele player, basically the Acoustasonic, but the less expensive made in Mexico version.
Mm-hmm.
So basically all you had to do is tag somebody in a comment on our page, and you'd be entered. So I tagged you, and then when you responded to me, you got entered.
So that was it. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool? And
because we know these things do happen now.
Yes.
And we now know these things do happen.
Yeah, do not sit there and think, oh, it's not worth my time to fill out 4 lines of information on an internet page. No. Always take the time to do it, because you never know. I thought I was being scammed, but I won an Acoustasonic a Fender earlier it was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My God, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. I don't play it all that much because it's not really fitting what I'm doing
now.
But it's so much fun to play with.
Yeah, it's a cool guitar.
Yeah. And you've got all the acoustic sounds that sound way cool when you put them through the pedal. So yeah, playing around with this is a blast.
I have been I thought about, I'm going to take my acoustic back out on my gigs, because I was playing a clean sound that sounded good, but I thought you just need that acoustic sound. So I took it back. I plugged in my my Line 6 pod into my computer, and it did a quick update. I'm like, okay. And one of the things that it updated was it added an acoustic simulator.
Oh, cool.
In one of the patches, and I was like, oh. So I tried it, and I was amazed how good. I mean, I haven't even played with the tone yet.
Mm-hmm.
And just right there, I just did a little bit, and it sounded very cool, especially with my hollow body guitar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. Because, when you're able to, carry minimal, I pared way down to where I can make, if I wanted to, I can unload my trunk in 2 trips.
Mm-hmm.
And be set up in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I impressed myself, because I got to Don Felix the other day, and I got there, said hi, looked at my watch. 15 minutes later, I was tuning my guitar.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I had it all done. And I'm sitting there for 45 minutes, because I always get there an hour early.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, okay.
So yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah,
you start getting the hang, and the less stuff that you're carrying, all the better. It's why actually a lot of musicians, when the Acoustasonic came out, they swapped it for all their other guitars,
because it has even electric sound.
Yeah.
That's just wicked cool.
Oh yeah. And carrying one guitar that's not terribly heavy
Yeah.
is a lot better than carrying like, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And I've seen that. I've seen guys that bring out the big long rack,
Yeah.
and it's full of guitars that they're playing,
Yeah.
which is cool. I love to see them switch
Yeah.
out. I love to hear the different sounds. But I am a guitar nerd, so I don't
gotta
really
love that.
count the same as other people with that.
And you got it's. I still love the fact that the one time I went and saw Sage Gentlewing, and he has been doing this for 30 something years. I mean, even more than that. And he's got a specific sound, and he's got pedals that are linked together a certain way that go into certain speakers and he has 3 speakers, and he has everything, cabled a certain way to get the sound that he gets from the 2 or 3 guitars that he plays.
He's very old school with the way he's got it set up.
Absolutely. And it sounds great. And that's what he's used to.
Mhm.
But I literally stood there talking to him after he was done and watched him roll up cables. And I swear after 20 minutes, I lost count of how many cables he had rolled up.
Oh, yeah.
And he comes out and sees me, and I've got 4. I got 4 cables.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I was playing the 2 different guitars. Now I'm carried down 3 because I'm only playing 1 guitar. And it's funny. He looks at me and goes, I like the simplicity of your setup. Because he looked and said, well, I'm only going to he thought when he saw me, well, he's only got 1 sound. He doesn't change the sound. Then I hit a switch and it totally changed the way I was doing.
Yeah.
And he looks at my pedal board and he looks at him, just look at her out. He goes, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, and I understand there's a purist aspect, especially when it comes to pedals and electronic pedals. There's a purist aspect that there are people that hate them. And it's true. They used to sound like, the old Yamaha midis.
Oh yeah.
If you remember if you ever saw the video of the cat playing the keyboard, and it's do 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 do, and that every sound on a MIDI sounded like that. They just kind of changed the timbre a little bit, but it all sounded cheap, like you're listening to music off of an Atari.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
So and I've seen several of these different electronic based pedals that are out there, and they sound great.
Yeah, they do. They have a different sound. They're so different now. And like Line 6 is one of the pioneers of it.
Oh yeah.
And Boss is another great one. Boss has been. I almost bought a Boss FX processor simply because their acoustic simulator was so good.
Oh yeah.
But I went with the Line 6. And I remember when I was going after the FX 100 years ago. I remember watching a lot of YouTube videos, and the way the FX was, there was no screen on it. You had to connect to it with a tablet or a phone, and he had an app that you adjusted everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a control pedal for their amp because it was so simple.
Yeah.
But when you get in there and you have to use a tablet. So I saw guys saying, once you get used to the app, it's fantastic because you can manipulate, you can move the pedals around, you can change the order, blah, blah. And there was many of them that were going great. Then there was this one guy who did a video, thought this was the absolute dumbest piece of equipment he has ever seen in his life. Who the heck wants to have to look at an app on a tablet to adjust it? I mean, he was just railing this thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's because he was very old school and he liked pedals with stomp boxes,
right?
So that you can adjust it. He liked that, and I thought, wow, okay, they're nerds, love this thing, And even with the Pod Line 6, the Line 6 Pod Go that I have, it has a screen, so you can do it right on the screen. But you can also plug it in a computer, and then you got a machine program that connects to it, and you can just modify everything that way too.
Right.
A little easier on the app. But when you're at a venue and you're like, I got to turn the bass down, you can just click to it and go down.
Yeah.
Or you know what? I want distortion. You go over and add a distortion pedal real quick. So it for guys that are nerds a little bit and techies, these things are wonderful. But there's the old school guys that do not. They want stomp boxes with dials that they turn. So.
Yeah, and I'm having an easier time getting used to the electronic stuff than the old school stuff because. Honestly, I'm still going through and learning what each of them does because I don't know. I know what reverb is. I know what flange is. I know what a chorus emulator will do. Beyond that, I do know what a wah is. Gotta love a wah pedal.
I showed my wife how on my pedal, you press it down, you press a little more and it clicks, and then engages the wah pedal, and I can play. And she goes, "When do you use that?" And I go, "I don't." So why do you? I go, "Because it's there."
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like it's there, so I can. I never use it.
She needs to let it go.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, the biggest temptation for any guitarist is to use the wah pedal on everything.
Oh, I remember when you can always tell who just started using it because they use it on every single song.
Yeah.
And, every single song. I had a guy give an analogy that was hilarious. Guitar players will throw on every single thing they can.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, kind of pare it down to a few.
Oh, yeah.
Drummers will start basic and then they start adding more and more and more as they go. Mm-hmm. I had a guy that I played in a band with, a guy that got this China cymbal. He used it twice in the whole gig, but those 2 times he used it, it was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I had another drummer that had endless cymbals. He had like 4 toms in front of him, 3 floor toms, a big bass with double pedal. And I mean, you couldn't even see them because there were so many. And he made it a point to hit every single cymbal on every single song. That China sound, like, dude, lay off the China cymbal. I was like, so different drummers do different things.
Oh, yeah.
But guitar players are one. They see all these. They'll throw everything on there and then eventually pare it down. And that's what I did. I threw everything I could on there, and then eventually I got rid of the phase, and I turned way down the chorus and the flange. I have subtle chorus and flange just to give it a full tone. And I mean, my wife cannot tell the difference when I take the effects off, but I can.
Yeah.
So she's like, it sounds. And then after a while, she's like, I like that sound better. I'm like, oh, really? It's because this sound over here, because I have another clean patch that I use that has more of a acoustic feel.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, I like the other one better because it has a little bit more to it. And I'm like, she's getting it. So he's like, you got to listen to it for a while. It's after your ear gets used to it, then you start either adding or subtracting and moving around and stuff.
Yeah, and you got to get past the the novelty phase. Oh, because you try something new and it always sounds awesome
as soon as you try it. Yeah, and the thing about these effect processors is that they're all there, so you can try whatever you want. Whereas when you have the stomp boxes, they're like they're anywhere from $50 to $150 each.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, if I had my sound, I'd be spending my sound with the amp that I modeled out of the database and the sound. It'd be like $8,000-$10,000.
See, there's a pedal that I really would love to have. It's by a company called Penny Pedal. They're a very small company. They should not have the word penny in their name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the pedal I want is only $400.
Oh my god!
For one pedal. I was like, no, we're not doing that. By the way, we talked about giveaways.
Yeah.
One thing to be aware of: if you're a musician, always check Sweetwater every month. Right now, their current giveaway, which I've already entered.
Oh, I haven't.
It's an up to $2,200 giveaway. They basically, if you win, you get to pick your choice of any of the, let me say it right, D'Angelico guitars. Up to $2,200.
Those are a unique sounding kind of a rockabilly 50s kind of style. It's amazing. They're really cool.
And by the way,
really cool.
They make a 12 string too. Oh, but I was looking at some. They're gorgeous, and they do sound great.
That's cool.
So it's always a good thing to check. You never know what Sweetwater's going to be doing. They do constant stuff, and of course, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're on most of these sites, even Twitter, the companies will put this stuff up, and these companies are doing giveaways all the time, especially if they come up with something new. The reason I was able to win that Acoustasonic is every time they release a new Acoustasonic, because they've done the Tele, the Strat, and the Jazzmaster. So there are 3 main styles of guitar. They released the Acoustasonic version of each of those. Every time they released one, they put out a new drawing, a new giveaway. And cool. I think it was multiple giveaways each time. It's not like, I won the one guitar they were selling. No, they
I had a few of them,
They
but
were
still,
they gave away quite a bit.
that was insane.
So yeah,
That's
it
really
was
cool though.
yeah, it was weird. I was actually at my folks' house. I get this phone call. I kind of walk into the other room because I'm waiting for this guy to ask me for inappropriate information. Yeah, can I have your social security number? Yeah, I'm going to give that to you.
Yeah.
And he asked me for nothing. He basically verified information that he had from my entry,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know what that means.
You still, I remember telling me, I'm still not going to believe it until it shows up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then the following week, you're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Doorbell rings, and I walk out, and there's this box sitting there. And I'm like, oh God, it's real.
Wow.
And if I'd done what some people do, and I'd like made an unboxing video, it would have been the most boring unboxing video because I was going so slow. Because in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna open this box up. There's gonna be nothing in it,
Yeah.
or it's gonna be full of snakes, and it's gonna be snakes in my house. I'm gonna have to call Samuel L. Jackson. He's gonna have to come over and tell me how he's MF and sick of these MF and snakes in my MF and house.
Yeah, I did I've thought about doing unboxing videos when I order things, and I'm like, no, I'll wait and do something later, and I never do.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'll do so I took it out of the box because I've watched a few unboxings. I'm sitting there going, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
And then I want to see the one where, okay, I plugged it in. This is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That I want to hear.
Yeah. I really don't care about how it's packaged.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this. It's got an inner layer of cardboard. I don't whatever. If it comes broken, then I'm gonna have somebody's butt.
I did have
there
was a guitar that I was looking at, and I remember the guy, when he goes, by the way, he goes, this is one time I should have I should have videoed the unboxing, only to show you that this thing comes packed so good. There is no way this thing, and he was impressed with the way the company packaged it.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I'll tell you one thing, don't worry about it getting to you broken. They pack it up really good. That's the only time that's all you really want to know. Is it going to get to me in one piece? Because I did have a guitar that I ordered one time, and when I got it, the headstock was snapped.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, I sent them a picture of it, and they were like, oh, hold on. And they did a return, and they packaged the other one a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because it was like that's the only, that I remember that was my, I should have been, it was a Raven 12 string that I still have.
Yes. With no strings on it right now.
No, I put strings on it.
Did?
And I just I've started tuning it, and I'm like, I got better things to do.
Well, you're not really a 12-string guy.
I'm not.
So,
I am not. It's like when you came over and my wife was watching you play this, and she's like this close to buying it, and then she goes, and I looked at her and I went, I don't think I'll play it.
No,
I just it's great, but I think there's only one or two songs I do that would actually sound good on.
Yeah.
Man, when you play this on the songs you've written, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I wouldn't play it. There is one guitar that I looked at, and I saw it at Hubbard's, where they only have the extra string on the D and the G.
The 8th string.
And that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It's just, I was amazed at how good it sounds.
Yeah.
So that's the one I would consider.
And by the way, I've said this before to individuals, anybody who's listening, if you play at all, or if you're interested in playing, go down to Hubbard's Music here in town on Wyatt, and they'll let you play. Absolutely. You can play around with their guitars. You can get a feel for what you want, especially if you're looking to take lessons and you don't know what you want. Because I was there. Everybody else has been there. You basically ask the question at some point, what's the best guitar I should get? There's no good answer. Everybody's different.
It's a standard answer is it depends.
Yeah.
I have somebody close that they bought their grandson is really, I handed him one of my guitars while he was down here for the summer, and I said, don't buy a guitar for him until he's ready. Well, his birthday's coming up, and within a week they could tell he's hooked.
Yeah.
And he's actually, it was funny because we were over there the other day, and he said, I was going to go play with it. Go ahead. And I gave him a little amp, and he's playing, and he wasn't doing it really fast, but you can tell he was playing the opening riff to Thunderstruck.
Oh, cool.
You could tell that's what it was. He was playing it slow, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Thunderstruck. And he figured out the notes. He just sat there and played, and then he figured out Stairway to Heaven. He goes, that was pretty easy. I said, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful where you play that son. And then he'll just start playing different things. He's just kind of like, I'm like, okay, so they bought him a Fender Squire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, for what he's doing, that's probably perfect for him to start on.
Oh yeah.
And then later on, he can move on to something else. But
and they're not super expensive.
no, they're not. So it's like, if you don't know if they're gonna, if you really want to get him one, and you don't know if they're gonna take to it, and you don't know what's that, Fender Squire is probably that go-to.
Yeah,
because it has a very, very not a unique. It's very basic sound, but it's a good sound. I know a guy. I played in a band, and the guy went to Guitar Center. He had a Squire, and he was finally ready to move up. He didn't like anything.
Yeah.
He tried several different guitars, did not like any of them, went back to his Squire. He bought a red Squire, is what he ended up buying, because he saw a red one and that's his favorite color. His wife was a redhead. So he's like, and he loves red. So he's like, he had a black one and he was like, I want a red one. So he bought a red Fender Squire and he was playing it on stage with us. I mean, and he loved it. Yeah. So it depends on what you enjoy. I love the feel of my Les Paul. I do not like the feel of the Fender Stratocaster. It's just, you got to go over there and try it.
Yeah. And, well, I was talking to some people that they love the Fender Tellys. I don't like the feel of the Telly. They don't like the feel of the Strat. What's the difference between us? Nothing.
No,
not really.
It's a personal preference. I remember when Jaffe Ryder handed me his guitar and said, "Here, go ahead and play something." And I'm like, as soon as I put my hands on it, I went, "This is not going to go well."
No.
And it didn't, because it was just an odd feeling. But he makes that thing sing. He plays that thing beautifully, and that guitar, he loves it. And he says he's looked at getting new ones, but he just never likes them. If you've got what you love, that's good enough.
Yeah. As we have nerded out for a little while, why don't you play something? You got you got a guitar here, so
borrowed yours.
Yeah, which looks exactly like yours.
Yeah. And it's funny because with my daughter coming back, we kind of took my music room down, and I took all my guitars down from the wall, and in the closet or my gig stuff, and then I have this guitar that I'm just sitting out. That's the only guitar I have out right now because I practice on it most of the time anyway.
Yeah,
like 9 guitars, and I play 3.
Yeah,
and 2 of them are just when I play gigs. So. She said it's cold outside, and she had me raincoat. She's always worried about things like that. Well, she said it's all gonna end and it might as well be my fault. She only sleeps when it's raining. She screams and her voice is straight, and she says, "Baby, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely." What happened? She says, "Baby, I can't help but be scared of it all. Sometimes the rain's gonna wash away. I believe it." She's got a little bit of something. God is better than nothing. In the color portrait world, she believes that she's got it all. She swears the moon don't hang quite as high as it used to. She only sleeps when it's raining. She screams and her voice is straight, and she says, "Baby, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely." What happened? She says, "Baby, I can't help but be scared of it all. Sometimes the rain's gonna wash away. I believe in death." She believes that life is made up of all that you're used to. And the clock on the wall has been stuck at 3 for days and days. Who thinks that happiness is a map that sits on the doorway? But outside, it stopped raining. Help when she said, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. What happened? She says, baby, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes. And the rain's gonna wash away, I believe. Yes, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. What happened? She says, baby, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes.
Dude.
That was cool.
Cool.
That one's fun.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Oh, goodness. So we've got a bunch of stuff going on in the area.
Yeah.
And I've got several different places right now.
Cool.
Oh God, that's for last week now. That doesn't do me any good. Yeah, so this is the 20th. So Dave Olguin is playing a bunch of places, which is cool because, you know, he kind of disappears at times and then shows up again. And he's kind of like a whack-a-mole that you don't actually hit on the head. You just go and listen to him when he pops up with a guitar.
There you go.
So for this month, on the 22nd, he's going to be playing at the Hacienda.
Oh.
The 24th, he's going to be at Rio Grande Winery. And the 29th, he'll be at NM Vintage. So
cool.
Those are his shows that are going on right now. Let's see. That's no good. Don't want to see that. Let's stay out of my my baggage. That's always a good thing. So what do we got going on here? So let's see. Wow. They are doing a 90s night at Little Toad Creek.
Oh wow.
Which is kind of cool. So they're going to have Love and the Emotions, the Fanny Pack Bradas, and Callista Band.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I saved Callista Band for last, even though she was first on the poster.
Yeah.
3 great bands. Yeah. And I have a special place in my heart for Callista. She's awesome. I've been blown away by the way she plays from day one. Yeah. So that's going to be this Saturday, 9 p.m. until midnight.
Yeah.
You know, you hit a certain age and you don't want to see a show that starts at 9.
I know. The first thing I thought, I was like, usually around 9 o'clock, my wife is saying, okay, I'm going to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually about 9, I'm you know, maybe I'm fixing a drink and I'm sitting down to write music. So
I hear you.
Rockabilly Strangers are going to be playing at the Eagles Club here in town this Friday at 8. So that's Eagles FOE 4038 right here in town. Mm-hmm. Jessica Flores is going to be at Rio Grande Winery this Saturday at 6. She's awesome. Mm-hmm. CL Smith is going to be playing at NM Vintage this Sunday at 2:30 p.m.
Cool.
Strange time to start, but hey,
on a Sunday, I get it though.
Yeah.
On a Sunday, yeah, that's good. You want to do it earlier in the afternoon.
And CL's also going to be playing at Don Felix this Saturday at 6. So he's staying very busy. Him with Rockabilly Strangers, him with one of the guys from Rockabilly Strangers, or him by himself. It's always just awesome. Yeah. So and of course Amaro Winery this Friday 7:30 to 10:30. Callista is going to be out there, and she'll be there with a friend. Chelsea Beth is going to be playing as well, who I've never actually heard play, so that could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's Dave Olguin. Icebox Brewing is going to have Antonio. I want to tell you something more about Antonio. I can't tell you anything more about Antonio.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never heard him, but we've got some great talent that nobody's heard in this town. Yeah, it happens a lot. And this finally, here it is. Yeah, I put down that I was interested last week, and then I found out that it wasn't TRC Brewing Company in Las Cruces. It was TRC Brewing Company in TRC.
Yeah.
This Sunday, 2 to 5, TRC Brewing Company here in Las Cruces.
Yeah.
Dallas David Ochoa is going to be playing.
Cool.
And he's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. In fact, I'm gonna mark that down proper, because that's gonna be very cool. Yeah. Let's see, Little Toad Creek tomorrow. That's Thursday. From 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. They're going to be doing a karaoke contest, Journey Karaoke Contest. Win concerts to Journey at the Pan Am Center on July 29th. Sing a Journey song to enter. Winner will be selected on July 21st during a live broadcast presented by Adams Radio. Won't be there. I won't be doing that.
Yeah.
I can sing Journey songs, but never sober. Yeah. Those notes are a little out of my range normally. So there's that. Yeah. Let's see. So of course, the salsa night is going on at Amaro Winery Saturday at 7:30. Oh, at the Plaza de las Cruces here in town. Tomorrow at 7, Music in the Plaza with Antonio Reina and Mariachi Raices de America right here in Las Cruces. So that'll be at the Plaza tomorrow starting at 7. So it's always cool to see a mariachi band out here. We've got some cool ones too. Brie and Ethan are going to be playing at DH Les Combs this Friday at 6. And Truth or Consequences, I didn't know they were doing this. Truth or Consequences Brewing tomorrow, 7 to 9. Third Thursday karaoke with Nick and Lindsay Williams. Okay. I didn't know they were doing a karaoke thing out there, so that's kind of cool. That's cool. Karaoke is coming back. Open mics have kind of stabilized. Yeah. And we got the same number as we had a while back. It'll be nice when we see more come up, because it'll happen.
There are places that, I mean, like I said, gosh, 2 or 3 years ago, it was an open mic every night of the week.
Oh yeah. At least one.
At least one, yeah, because there were a couple of nights where there were 2.
Yeah. Oh God. And Boneyard Cantina tomorrow starting at 6 p.m. They're going to have Third Thursday trivia with the Cruces Trivia God. Oh. Apparently Third Thursday is a big deal. I think it may be a bit much. Let's see. This Saturday at 8 a.m. at Cisparo. It's 425 West Bouts, Cisparo Buick GMC. They're going to be doing their Cisparo Veterans Appreciation Breakfast.
Oh, very cool.
So, let's see. Be Saturday the 23rd from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Event will recognize the 77th anniversary of White Sands Missile Range.
Oh, very neat.
Very big deal. Yeah. All active duty and retired veterans are invited. Free breakfast, burritos, and coffee. Lou Cisparo is directly involved with this. Oh wow! So it's a big deal for everybody over there. They always make a big deal of it, and it's a cool thing. Bubba Cafe and Cabaret is doing their paint night again. So this Saturday at 11:30 a.m.
That's neat.
Daytime.
Yeah. Okay.
Those of us who are older don't stay up. Well,
exactly.
I can't say I don't stay up late. I don't go out late normally. Yeah. I'm up until bizarre hours. But yeah, they're doing Hummingbird Takes Flight for paint night this time. So if you want to do a Hummingbird, there you go. Yeah. There's Dallas David. He's going to be playing this Friday at 6 p.m. at La Posta. Okay. So he's staying busy. Yeah. Allie Shea is going to be playing at Les Combs this Saturday at 6. Oh, cute. She's awesome. I've gotten to hang with her a few times, and she's just a blast. Yeah. She's got the same smart ass sense of humor as me. So, and yeah, we basically sat up. We watched a Daisy Blue when she played at TRC Brewing here a few weeks back, and we all sat around and told the worst dad jokes we could come up with. It was ugly. It was just really ugly. Let's see. Lucky Dog is doing Lucky Dog Billiards is doing their Scotch double blind draw again today at 5. So if you want to get in some pool, that's a good way to do it. And I'm not seeing much else. Let's see. another paint night. Picacho Peak Brewing is doing a paint night. That's tomorrow at 6. That's Thursdays. That's cool. CM Adams and the 3W Band is going to be live at the Game 2 this Saturday at 7. Yeah. They're going to be doing Kids Camp at Alamo Draft House today at 11:55 a.m. So if you're not in El Paso, you might want to hurry if you want to take part in this. But they're going to be showing Sing 2.
Oh, that's neat.
So
I have seen that movie way too many times.
I couldn't get through the first one.
I have a 6-year-old in the house, and right now she's stuck on Sam and Cat, which is a show on Netflix. It was an old Nickelodeon show from 2014. She's stuck on this show, and we have been watching it nonstop for a week.
Mm-hmm. If you want to go see the movie today, it is $5 for everybody.
Great.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. And Alamo Draft House is awesome.
That's cool.
The truth is, I put my name in as a possible performer if they have certain jobs that come up.
There you go.
I made a trip with Truman Provencio a few weeks back, and we basically covered Highway 28 all the way through, and we hit every brewery, winery, and some bars that were out there. And since we were like a block away from Alamo Draft House, I was like, well, let's go talk to them. You never know. So who can say?
That's cool.
Anything's possible. Allen Theaters is doing their Movies We Love series. Today at 6 p.m. till 8 p.m., they're going to be playing La Bamba.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, please. Anybody who says anything bad about La Bamba has no heart or soul.
It is a great movie. The music is absolutely awesome, and it was very well done. It's just I sang La Bamba in the production show that I did for 4 years straight. Every show it was requested. So yeah, I couldn't get away from that song.
Yeah. So that's another they're doing that movie. Admission is $5.
That's great.
So that's kind of a cool thing.
Lou Diamond Phillips did a great job in that movie. He did so good capturing the enthusiasm that Ricky Valens had.
Yeah.
Richie Valens had.
He was just a little too pretty for the role.
Point. Because Richie Valens wasn't. But,
no, but he was a heartthrob.
But Richie Valens had like this, just, he loved playing and he loved singing. So, and Lou Diamond Phillips, he grabbed that. He totally captured that. I was really impressed with that. Yeah.
So one of the weird things that we have out here that doesn't come up too often, but we got one that came up, is we do have a theater scene out here. It's not huge, but it's not worth ignoring. So let's see. This is Black Conversations Theater Company, Blank Conversations Theater Company.
I was about to say, we going there?
Hey, don't be questioning me, man. I'm gonna no, we won't go there. They are doing auditions. They're going to be doing a shadow cast. Basically what they're doing is they're going to do a stage performance of, in this case, it's the movie Moulin Rouge.
Oh, wow.
Which is going to be insane because the music in that movie was weird.
Yeah.
There were a few original songs, and there were a lot of, modern pop hits that they added into it as if it was in that time period. It was very strange, but very cool at the same time. So they're going to be doing that. They're going to be doing it this August. So auditions will be July 24th from 2 to 5. It'll be at their new location, tentatively named International House of Blank, IHOB. It's 1494 South Solano Drive, Suite D. No experience is necessary. Come out and apply.
That's cool.
It's one of the cool things there. We have some theater here in town that's kind of notorious for if you don't know people, you're not getting in. This is not one of those groups.
Oh, that's good.
So if you're curious, if you've always wanted to try something like that, get out and try it. You might get accepted, and there's something cool about doing a stage thing. I haven't done that in years and years, and I don't think I would do it again, but it can be fun. Let's see. I think everything else that we're looking at is going to be El Paso. So I think we're pretty well. Yeah, so it's not a
Cool.
huge week, but there's a good amount of stuff going
Yeah.
on. I believe that at some point, and it may be this week, um, that Daisy Blue is going to be back in town.
Hmm.
I believe she has finished up her show in Minot, South Dakota.
Yeah, that's wow.
I asked her about that, and yeah, here we go. So I asked her about that, and I was like, "Well, why? Why? That's a horribly cold place."
Yeah.
Well, she's got family up there, so she was visiting with family, and that was a cool thing. So this is the 20th. Let me make sure what the day is. Okay. So yeah, actually, it's coming up in 2 days, the 22nd through the 25th. She's going to be playing in Minot,
That's
It
cool.
is North Dakota. Okay.
Yeah.
26th, she's going to be out there as well. 27th, and then the 28th, she's going to be in Bismarck. 29th back in Minot, and I believe sometime after that, she's going to start heading her way back down here.
That's cool.
So come next month, we may see some dates from her.
Yeah.
So.
That's great.
Yeah, if you want to date with Daisy Blue, the only way to do that is to show up to one of her shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she's been really excited about this, and she's been putting up a bunch of fun videos. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
It'd be cool to, man, wouldn't it be great to just go out there and surprise her, just show up and say, "Hey, we're here to hear you."
That's cool.
She'd lose her mind and wonder what the hell's wrong with us.
Pretty sure North Dakota, that's one of those areas where if you ever, I forgot who it was that said it, but and if you're ever given 6 months to live, you just move up there because every day up there seems like a freaking eternity.
Well, it's either that or Missouri, you know.
Missouri's, yeah. That's
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
so
we were just saying that the other day that my son, he's trying to get out of Missouri, and he's worried that if he's taking a job where he's going to be traveling, he's an EKG tech, and he's going to be traveling doing that, and he's worried that when he goes and he sees other places, he's not going to want to go back to Missouri. He already's like he loved it out here. When he came out here for a week, he loved it. So he's thinking, he's worried that he's not going to want to go back to Missouri. So,
yeah, well,
yeah,
we have a way of spoiling people out
oh
here.
my gosh, yeah. My son was like, yeah, and then of course we introduced him to a few people, and he just loves the people out here.
Yeah. So yeah, we're good. That's basically what's going on.
That's cool.
Yeah. If your stuff isn't coming up where you're playing somewhere and we're not listing it out,
Yeah, message.
let us know.
Let us know. Message us. We'll definitely put it up there and say something about it.
Because I know there's stuff that doesn't get put up online easily, and if I miss it, there's nothing I can do about that because I only see what I see. So, but you can send us a message. You can either message us on here, and we'll see it and be able to put it up
personally if you know us. And we definitely want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah,
because it's hard. It's nothing worse than getting to a venue. You're all excited, and then hardly anybody shows up.
Yeah,
that's when that's when I got more guitars than I do people watching me. That sucks.
Yeah. And there is a big deal show coming up at the end of this month on July 30th. And this is going to be for the Doniana Village Historical Preservation Committee fundraiser. They're going to have Nosotros come down here in concert. Nosotros, awesome band. And by the way, tickets are, I forget what ticket price is. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Because Nosotros is awesome. Really good band and out of stock. Oh, well, you can't get in now.
Yeah.
They are sold out.
They are sold out. Okay.
And here's the cool thing. Nosotros is cool. Yeah. You know who's opening for them? Damian Luna.
Oh my gosh.
So
that is so cool.
Yeah, I think that's kind of neat. Yeah. I think it's going to be, I would be one of these guys. I'd be hooting and hollering more for the opening act than for the for the main band, because while I love Nosotros, I mean, it's Damian, and he's awesome.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I had a situation last Thursday, Damian was doing one of his showcases for his students, had their families come out, and I know that last time that it happened, it happened in one of the museum store things in town. But this time, I think he's been a little frustrated because it's hard to get students that aren't comfortable to actually get up and do something on a stage somewhere.
Definitely.
I'm the exception to his rule.
Yeah, you become the exception because I remember a time where you didn't want to.
Yeah. But so what he did is this time he had the showcase, and he had it at Little Toad Creek, which was cool. And he didn't have them inside on that main stage. It was the backstage in the back, in that back patio. So it was still a little more intimate and
cool.
not a huge thing. It was kind of laid back. But man, his students are just amazing.
Yeah.
These were almost all new students that I hadn't seen play before, and a couple that I had. And watching everybody, and you mentioned it the last time that you went out to one of these, every one of these students sounds totally different.
Yes, they did not have, so I've been to one of those types of things where everybody sounded the same. And because they were definitely, the teacher was influencing them that way, but not in this case.
Yeah.
Everybody had their own little flair to it. You could, it was like their own little twist, their own little style. And the fact that he's taking beginners and getting that out of him so soon.
Yes.
That is really amazing. He's an amazing teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
And if you do want to get a hold of him,
yes,
for lessons, he is taking lessons. I got permission to give out his contact information. So you can find him.
We're doing this to you.
You can find him on Facebook with Damian Luna. You can find him on Instagram under El Gato.
Yeah.
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah. Your teacher.
Let's see. What was it? It was. Did I mention I barely know how to use Instagram? Yeah, there we go. El Gato Loco Studios. No spaces in between. And you'll find him there. If you want to get a hold of him by phone, because he's given me permission to do that too. So why not? Let's see. That's under L. That's not really outing him if he wants me to.
Yeah.
So you can call him directly or text him directly. Text is usually easier with him. Area code 575-202-4153. And he's amazing. Do not be shy. Tell him what it is you want to learn. Tell him how it is you want to play. Yeah. And he'll structure everything to what you want.
He'll go with that. He's very versatile, and just, it's amazing.
And if you sit there and at the beginning you're like, well, I don't know anything about it at all, I'm just a beginner. If you start figuring out what you want, talk to him as you go along, because he'll shift things around, he'll change things up. We're going to start working on some music theory, because I've now reached about the limit of my knowledge for music theory. So there's that.
Surpass me.
I had a music background, but it was not in something like this. So now I'm at a point that I would kind of like to understand what I'm doing, which is going to be fun, because apparently one of my new songs, he's not quite sure what the dynamics are that I'm playing. Apparently, what it seems like has happened is that in my chorus, I changed not only the chord progression, but apparently I'm changing the time signature. And didn't even realize I was doing it. The beat never changes, but the time signature changes out. So I don't know. Basically, my thing has been to write my music basically what feels right to play.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. I remember being in college, and I went to and they had this class, and we had to write a progression, and I wrote it, and she told me it was wrong.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
Kind of turned me off. So I was like, never mind. So just write what that's how the music is now. It's just so much great music came because somebody did something.
Yeah, you've got to have that freedom to do what feels right, And it's not just a freedom from, other people telling you, but you can also impose that on yourself real
Yeah.
easily. So you don't want to do that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a thing. It's a thing.
Well, I think you should demonstrate what you're talking about and play something. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I shouldn't have brought the guitar out, huh? I don't know.
Do you want to play the 6 of the 12? No. That thing's starting to intimidate me, man.
I love this thing.
There we go.
I love that sound.
I know. That is so pretty.
Oh, let's see. I don't know what we got in here. I can try this. I've written a new song that only one person has actually heard finished out.
Cool.
And that's only because we were playing around and figured out I was playing a chord that wasn't quite right. And we started messing around until we found...
Yeah.
Well, we found a chord that works, but so far, I don't know what that chord is. So
that's funny.
Isn't that great? When you start...
Call it a G, C something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we decided it was a G over D add 6, I think is what we decided.
It looks like a C add 9, so you can say a C add 9, but not quite.
Yeah, not quite. It's just a little off. But yeah, we'll see if I can play this because this has just been finished.
Go for it.
But it actually was written for this guitar. Haunts my days, and she keeps me up all night. She makes me pay, though she's never in my sight. How can she be long gone? Left me all alone. But her memory tortures me. In my mind, and I know I cannot run. She knows my crimes. I can't deny what I have done. And I take the pain, don't want it to go away. It's all I have left of her. Took my soul, and I'll never get it back. I can't behold my My road to hell's been paved. I don't wanna be saved. I'm just content to do my time. I'm haunted. I'm haunted. I'm haunted.
That's good. I like that chord. It sounds really cool.
Isn't that cool? Are you talking about the
new one?
the new one?
The
Yeah.
one you can't find. The one
I don't know what that is.
That's neat.
The one that I love playing on this though, it's that E minor because nice thing about having a 12 string, you've got all these extra strings, so I can stay off of that one, and I'm hitting that like a bass note.
Exactly. Yeah.
Almost like a bass drum in there. So
one thing I like about bar chords because it adds that that element to it. It's like when you play in a song and you don't use the G string there, you can play it here. It's like changes it. It's hard to do it on acoustic, but you get that. That's when I play that. It's like especially when you're playing by yourself. You can add that bass note.
Yeah, when you're playing by yourself, you kind of got to do some little tricks.
Yeah.
And
that's why I like ring, because it just rings the E the whole time.
Oh yeah.
I had a 7-string that had the low B.
Yeah.
And that sounded really cool with bar chords.
Well, we got a kid here in town named Isaac. He's got a guitar that he plays occasionally. It got at the neck. It was burned. I don't know what happened. He doesn't know what happened. He got it from a friend, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to throw it away." And he's like, "No, I'll take it." And because of the damage that's been done to this thing, and he could probably get it repaired, but it would take a lot of work, and it's probably may not even be worth it. But he discovered if he takes his guitar and if he tunes it down 2 full steps, the sound comes out great. And he's sitting there, he can still play his higher end note stuff. It still sounds pretty decent, still sounds fairly normal. But when he starts hitting that low E string on that thing, it just resonates. Like it's kind of like mixing a bass guitar with a regular one. So,
wow.
And oh, you son of a that is a first.
That is fun. When I first started playing, I did that all the time. I'd be playing and my pick would fly out of my hand and go right inside. At one time, I had I did this one time at home and I was like, oh, screw it. I don't feel like grabbing it. So I did it. And I get to church to play in praise and worship a few days later. And I realized I didn't bring a pick. And I picked up my guitar and I heard it rattle and I shook it down. The pick fell out and I was like, okay, cool. That was meant to be saved for later.
Yeah. I do got to say, since you mentioned pick, I got to give a shout out. I don't remember his name, but one of Damian's students that played, and he was fairly new. He hadn't played a whole bunch, but he was playing electric, and he was playing with a pick. And in the middle of playing, I watched it. It flew out of his hand, hits the ground, and he's sitting there, and you could see he's looking at that pick and he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
He just immediately goes to finger picking. And he hits a point in the song and he does this longer than normal pause, reaches down, picks up the pick and starts playing again. It's like, awesome.
That's cool. That's why I have that thing on my mic stand that has the pick stuck into it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's what
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I call the Midland stand.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time I saw one was when I went and saw Midland play in El Paso.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
he had one on there. And the thing is, yeah, when you're looking at a band like that, they've got those. They're not losing their
No, they're
picks.
throwing
They're
them.
throwing them out.
Yeah.
So he would throw out a pick, grab another one, throw out a pick, grab another one. It would get down to about 2 picks. And all of a sudden, it was like the ball boy in a tennis match.
Yes.
This guy comes out all hunched down and he sits there and he's
Replaces
putting these
it.
in there and then he disappears off stage. So we got a full set of picks again.
Oh, hey, you watch an Ace Frehley concert and he's, throwing picks out, and it gets down to it. And the guy comes out and he just does this quick change.
Mhm.
It's like this thing that he just snaps off and snaps another one on and he does it real quick. And then Ace just goes out and he has another one and he goes and he fills that one up and waits and he's done, man.
Yeah.
He's got it down.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you watch old Kiss concerts and they got these things stuck on there all the way down the
Oh,
mic
yeah.
stand. They're just covered in picks. And they
That
just,
that
yeah.
was the regular thing going on.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times they had novelty picks, so it was a specific
Yeah.
pick that was for that band. By the way, speaking of which, there is one more performer here in town
Uh-huh.
coming up this Friday, and he has his own picks,
Oh really?
which I didn't even. Okay, I had my contacts in, so I couldn't read what was on there so close up. But J.R. Sandoval is going to be playing this Friday at Rio Grande Winery,
Oh okay.
which is going to be awesome.
That's cool.
And he's got these little picks that have been made up from his very first song that he ever wrote, Cancun Can. And it was a song about the girl that broke his heart and started his musical career.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
Yeah,
cool.
she left him and ran off with some guy to Cancun. So he wrote a song basically, if I can't have you and Cancun can, well, I'll be damned. And I got to tell you a really quick thing. A few weeks back, JR was down here at the Boneyard.
Okay.
And he sang that song, and it ends up with a lie.
Yeah.
That the very last line in the song, he sings, "And I'm over you." And I'm like, no,
No, you're not.
no. I know you want to be, but you're not there yet. But the second time he sang the song, because one of his relatives came there late and wanted to hear it, so he sang it the second time. He replaced that line and he said something about how, but you're paying for my career or something right now. And it's true. It's actually the first song that he received royalties from, putting up on the streaming services, and he got his first royalty check at the end of last year. So that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get a chance, you want to go out and
Yeah.
listen to him at Rio Grande this Friday. His album is finished. It's going to be released soon. I don't know that we have a date for it yet.
Yeah.
He's trying to come on the show. It just hasn't worked out as of yet.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that, hey, you're stuck with us.
Yeah. Sorry.
What can you do? But he's gonna be up here, and if you like good country music,
Yeah.
he's definitely worth going to see.
Yeah.
And he gave me a boost to my ego when he came down here. He had me get up and play one of my songs because he wanted his dad to hear it from me.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's really cool.
his dad was a country music DJ down here for a long time. He was actually a rock and roll DJ, and then they moved to the country station. And says, "Well, I know you're a rock and roll DJ, but this is going to be a country station. Would you be interested?" And he's like, "I love country. I love country more than rock. This was just a job. This could be fun." So it was kind of fun to play for that, play for
That's
him, and
cool.
he got to hear some of my original stuff. And quite frankly, JR is the first guy that I talked to. When I was looking at, what am I doing? I've got song lyrics I'm writing. What am I going to do with this? And I says, I'm thinking about maybe taking lessons, but am I going to play these somewhere? And he's like, yes, you are.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
That's cool.
And he's a great guy.
Awesome.
I hate that he doesn't live here locally anymore. He moved from here to Albuquerque, and then after everything went down, he eventually moved to he's playing out of Tucson. So, and he plays all over the place, but he plays all the big bars in Tucson, which is cool because I'm seeing these names and I recognize a bunch of these bar names. I was like, man, I'd love to play that bar. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'd love to play that bar. Ooh, that bar is a little scary, but I'd still like to play it.
It's at the bar with the chicken wire in front so that the bottles don't hit you.
Yes, yes. And by the way, I've been in a bunch of those bars, and you know what? Yeah, you got to watch your step a little bit, but they're fun.
Yeah.
They're a blast. Just, don't say the wrong thing or dance with the wrong woman, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, there's that. So, let's see. We got time here. We got lots of time.
Yeah, we have lots of time.
Yeah. So, I
do you
played
want
a song. I think you should play another one.
I was going to say you should play another one.
Well, I can play my other one that I just finished up.
Go ahead.
I've played it a little bit out, but
Cool.
yeah, this is one. Once again, I feel like there's some point that I need to pay out a royalty check to Damian Luna if I ever make any money doing this. But because I run stuff by him, we sit there and I think he's having fun with it.
Yeah.
Because we sit there and start breaking it down.
Yes.
Okay, what is this?
For musicians, that's just the thing.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And I had
Things like that.
a part in the chorus of this song that it was weird and didn't feel right, and I played it for him, and he says that's weird and it doesn't feel right. Okay, so let's start figuring it out. And it took a long time, and basically it was after we'd been going over it and couldn't find anything that worked. About 2 days later, I was like, oh, I'm trying to find the right chord to put in there. No, I just need to put in one more chord and do a step into that chord. And once you do that, it's like, why am I that dumb? I should have figured that out. Well, when you get close to stuff, and I can blame my lack of my lack of training, but at the same time, when you get close to stuff, sometimes it's hard to take a step back and see, what's wrong with it. But yeah. So this was I played this at open mic last week.
Oh yeah.
Too Long Sober.
Cool.
See, I'm only gonna play so many happy songs, and then I'll start writing some more sad ones. But yeah, that last one, the Haunted, actually doesn't mean anything. There's gonna be people that are gonna be asking me, what's it mean? I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I was actually working on I worked the music up. I was playing around one night late at night, and I was like, ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, that sounds good. And I basically wrote out the chord progression. I got the tempo and everything down, and then I started plugging words in. So the words are actually not as important as everything else. And usually I start with words.
Yeah.
So this is not that way. Every time the sun goes down, I'll pull out. That's not right. Every time the sun goes down. You ever have one of those days?
Yeah.
Every time the sun goes down, pull out a glass. Oh, I can't sing that today.
Oh.
How bad is that? I don't know how it goes. I get drunk, kissing your lips. Oh, I know, because it's early.
Yeah. That'll do it to you.
Every time the sun goes down,
There you go.
pull out a glass and a bottle. No, that's not right either.
Totally been there. I did that last time I played Fireball. I was like, this is not how I played it.
Isn't that horrible? Yeah, we get into some weird crap.
Oh God, yeah.
So you know what? I'll switch it up and I'll play a little George Strait, which
Okay,
I don't play George Strait.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a country guy, and I'm not a George Strait fan as a rule.
That's okay.
He did some good stuff, but I'll get in a fight with anybody if you want to talk about who's a real rodeo cowboy, and it's not George Strait. But I like this song. I still feel 25 most of the time. I still raise little Cain with the boys. Honky-tonk and pretty women Lord, I'm still right there with them, singing above the crowd and the noise. Sometimes I feel like Jesse James, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song. Now I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. Well, the truth about a mirror is that a damned old mirror don't really tell the whole truth. It don't show what's deep inside or read between the lines, and it's really no reflection of my youth. Sometimes I feel like Jesse James, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song. Now I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song. Now I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone.
That's cool.
I think there's a bunch of us that can relate to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote that and I was like, wow, I get that. I really get that. It's one of those things, if you got music in you, you can do whatever you want to say. No, I've gotten beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving on. I'm going to be a professional. I'm going to put on a suit and tie. I'm going to be respectable. And by the way, most people wear suit and ties. I would argue they're not as respectable as they want you to think.
Chances are, yeah.
But no, I think that pretty well lays it out. There's another song by Luke Combs called Doing This.
Oh yeah.
And he's sitting there talking about, he's hugely successful now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about, says, yeah, I get these interviews and I sit down and they ask me these questions about my hometown, about my music, my influences. And eventually they'll ask me, what would you be doing if you weren't doing this? And he says, I'd be working a 9-to-5 job.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be going out at night, hooking up with some friends that we put a band together and we'll be playing some beer joint down the street. Yeah. He says, bottom line, says, if I wasn't doing this, I'd still be doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's about it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Once you get started on this, it's really hard to get out of it.
Yeah, it becomes part of you and part of your existence.
Mm-hmm.
And you just don't feel right when you're not.
I'd go even a little bit further and say that once you find that that's your love, because I've known some people who have cut that music out of their lives. One of which showed up at an open mic last week and was saying, says, I played for the longest time, then I quit playing, and my friends warned me that I was gonna be sorry. Says years later, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When you cut out that thing that you love, and if it's music, it's very obvious. You kill a little piece of yourself.
I did it for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
I put it away and didn't look, didn't do anything about it. Didn't play at all. Didn't, sing at all. And when I started doing it at church, it was okay, but it wasn't the same. I enjoyed it. It was, but it was very, very different.
Yeah.
You're not up there performing. So it's totally different. It wasn't the same. And then when I started,
and you're playing as part of a group,
yeah,
too.
And you're not performing. You're praising and but it was still singing.
Yeah.
And I thought that would work. And then I went to an open mic and that night, and that was it. I knew there was something really missing.
Why did you know? What went through your head?
As soon as
it
just felt comfortable. It felt like I was. There was just a sense of this is right.
That wasn't all of it, though.
Oh, yeah. It was part of an addiction that I had left for so long.
Well, you also, you told me this story. there was a bit of unhappiness that
Oh,
came over you in
yeah.
that moment because you realized
I
what you were missing.
Yeah, it was tough. It was great when I was doing it, and then when I sat down, I was like, oh man, God, I missed that.
Yeah.
And it started when I watched somebody, and I started thinking, no, I do it this way. I do it this way. I change this, and I'm like, oh, I gotta stop because I'm not. And then when I started playing more and learning some songs and thinking about maybe doing a solo thing, and then that night I went to open mic, it was like I was it was I can't watch music award shows.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch a lot of those American Idol. I can't watch them. It hurts too much
Mm-hmm.
because I want to be doing that.
Right.
And I watched the very beginning of American Idol a couple of times and went through the auditions because those are fun. I loved when Simon Cowell looked, who told you you can sing? Everybody, they're lying to you. I was like, I thought that was the greatest thing.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
so many people like that. And yeah, there was a heaviness that would happen. And now it's like, I played last Thursday
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to be playing this weekend. I'm moving my daughter and I'm already can't wait for next Saturday because I'll be playing and I'm just, it starts to get at you.
Yeah.
You know?
And the thing is, I don't think that you have it in your head to become some huge star.
Mhm.
But I've watched you playing on stage, and yes, there's always a rush with having a crowd there, especially when the crowd
Mhm.
starts responding. But I've seen you playing with big crowds, well, for this area.
Yeah.
Don't get the wrong idea.
Yeah. No, it's not a big crowd.
There's no stadium
but yeah,
shows.
No.
I was watching Bill Burr last night with his new comedy special
Oh,
on
yeah.
Netflix, playing at Round Rocks, and he filled Round Rocks. I was like,
Wow.
oh,
That
so
is
not
so
like that,
cool.
but
Yeah.
but you've gotten a good crowd.
Mhm.
You've also played at places where you've had like 3 tables with people sitting at them,
Yep.
and every time that you played, I've noticed the same thing on your face, the same look,
Yeah.
and it's a look of pretty close to bliss.
Yeah.
Um,
I get into a zone. It's just like I'm in my own world.
yeah, you have to understand that this is something that if it's a music thing, if you're a writer, if you're a painter, if you work on hot rods,
Mm-hmm.
it's whatever gives you that happy
Yeah.
feeling.
It's really just something you have to experience.
Yeah.
There's something everybody has in their life that gives them that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's for musicians. It's sometimes if you hear me play in my room, by myself, it's not much different from what you'll see on. I'm thinking I've got to start. I was practicing a couple days ago, and I just couldn't. I just wasn't in it.
Yeah.
I think I've got to go ahead and do some Facebook Live so that I can have a good rehearsal.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if I think somebody might be watching that, that'll change it. But there's sometimes like last night, I just wanted to play something for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I played like, 4 or 5 songs. And then my granddaughter wanted me to read her a story before she went to bed. So of course I'm going to do that.
Of course.
So, and then I was fine. I just needed, it was like, quick fix.
Yeah.
That's why I have a guitar at my nail studio. Cause I'll sit there sometimes in between clients and I'll just play a song real quick and put it down. I don't do it to I do it when nobody else is there.
Yeah.
It just looks nice in there too. So,
True.
The guitar hanging on the wall just looks nice.
So I'm gonna have you play some, but before we do, I'm gonna do something that I've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play another one because with what we're talking about,
that's right.
I wrote a song.
Yeah.
And I'm going to out you because I don't think you mind.
Yeah.
So there are a handful of musicians in this town who've inspired me as I've been going along, and let's be really honest, you're one of them.
Yeah.
I've watched you very closely and the way you play, not, because we don't play the same.
Mm-mm.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're basically playing rhythm guitar, both of us. There's not a whole lot of difference in what we're doing, but how we're doing it is so different. But you've inspired the hell out of me. Watching the way you've done it, watching the way you've jumped into it, because I've gotten to see you from the beginning.
Yeah.
Of course you were playing way back, but
that was 20 years ago. So.
But I saw you the first time you came out to an open mic.
Yeah.
I saw you the first time you came on the show and played stuff, and we weren't sure if it was going to be any good or not. We're like, who is this guy?
So much fun. Every time I mention that, Daisy goes, oh my gosh, yeah.
It was so stressful. We're sitting there, both of us are tensed up. It's like, oh God, how bad can this be? And if it's really bad, What do we say?
Yeah.
I mean, we applaud and we say what? my go-to. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you guys in a little secret. My go-to, if you've done something that's really horrible, is I'm definitely going to comment on how much I like the song if it's a cover song. I'll probably mention something about the band.
Yeah, I remember that song. That was one of my
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I will try not to say the words "good try" because that's horrible. But
somebody said I say something like close.
But I wrote this song and I mentioned
I like this one.
I mentioned two people that I absolutely love and think the world of, but I used names that they're not really known by. And second verse, you're BJ. Your first name is William, but you've gone by Billy in the past. And besides the fact, I thought Billy sounded good for this. So
yeah.
So the second verse is about you, and I'm outing you right now.
That's cool.
Chasing Stardust. Katie grabs a guitar. You can tell that she's a star. The whole time she plays a song, she just starts to grow, and you can tell that she knows it feels too good to be wrong. So she keeps moving on. She's chasing stardust with the music that she trusts, never gonna leave and never let her down. She's chasing stardust, and knowing that she must give in to that light. Keep reaching for that light. Billy can't stay away, he's got that need to play. Get on that stage again, on his own or with the band. That guitar's in his hand, giving balance to his way, on a path where he can't stray. He's chasing stardust with the music that he trusts, never gonna leave and never let him down. He's chasing stardust, and knowing that he must give in to that light. Keep reaching for that light. And I watch them up there, I can't help but stare, 'cause I want to do that too. I got so much to say, and that seems like the way for me to clear the air. Bare my soul if I dare, chasing stardust with the music that I trust, never gonna leave me, never let me down. Chasing stardust, and knowing that I must give into that light. Keep reaching for the light. They say you can't, you won't. They say you won't go far, but you know what they don't. You got fire in your heart, and it won't let you stop. Chasing stardust with the music that you trust, never gonna leave you, never let you down. Chasing stardust, and knowing that you must give in to that light. Keep reaching for that light, and chasing stardust with the music that you trust, never gonna leave believe he never let you down. Chasing stardust, and knowing that you must give into that light. Keep reaching for that light.
That is so cool. That's really cool.
So you made it into one of my songs.
Yeah, that's really cool. That is I like the way that was done. I like the way you did that.
So yeah. I'm not terribly subtle in the way I write, but you know.
That was good though. I
there
like
it is.
that. I really like the way it's funny to listen to that and go, oh, wow, he's right.
Well, I wrote this basically as me saying, you know, these are the people that inspired me, and this is the way it made me feel. And I played it for the other person that the song's about, who I won't out.
Oh,
but yeah, she was telling me when she heard it that you know, what came to her mind was, because she was having a hard time with some stuff. She says, it basically, the message I got from this loud and clear was not to give up. And I was like, that's cool, because that's not what I meant. But it's cool that it's there.
But that's what she got out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really, because it kind of reminds me that, you know, I'm not trying to be famous. I just want to play whenever I can. And if that means eventually, you know, like, if I don't, you know, maybe I do just sit in my room and go on Facebook Live and let people lock in that want to, and that's it. And that's probably going to be fine for me too.
Well, you notice I didn't say chasing fame. I didn't say chasing a record contract. I use the word stardust on purpose because it's so ethereal, because it means something to some different people, different things.
The
so.
feeling you get when you finish playing a show and, you know, people tell you they enjoyed hearing you. That was my favorite thing people say is, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. We had so much fun listening to you. That is really cool, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to give them pleasure. You're trying to put a smile on their face, trying to let them, you know, escape for a little while.
Yeah.
And when they come up to you and say, that was great, we had so much fun, we enjoyed listening to you, that is what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And it's like when you have that tip jar at the end and you know, play, it's like, it's not the amount of money that you got.
Yeah.
It's the fact that these people gave that to you.
Yes.
You know, when I see a little girl come up and it's $1 because her mom gave her $1 to put him. That is the sweetest thing. And they're smiling, you know, and waving at you. And I mean, that is cool. Yeah. That's what it's about, for me at least. You know, that's what I love. You know, I walk in there and I see people, you know, listening or enjoying themselves while they're listening. And that's the whole thing. So,
well, and when I played my first full length solo show, yes, all that was there. One of the things that really got to me is that one of the people that was there, they're regulars with the music scene out here. And she came up to me and she requested a song. She didn't request some cover song. She requested one of my originals.
Yes.
I was just floored, absolutely floored. And I'm just like, well, maybe I'm on a good path.
That's really cool. And so, regardless of what song it is, because they liked hearing you do it. Because I had that happen early on when I was playing at open mic, and I went there. And funny that my dad was there at the time.
Yeah.
Because somebody came up to me and goes, "Hey, we have a request." I'm like, "You do?"
Like, it's a strange feeling.
Cool, man. I can do that.
Yeah, and there's all these little firsts, you know. The first time somebody requests a song from you, the first time that somebody gets up and dances while you're playing. That
is really cool. I had that the last time I played at Don Felix, it was great because these two little girls got up and wanted to start dancing, and so Grandma and Daddy got up and started dancing with them, and that was so cute. It was just so cute. Yeah, it's really cool when they do that. I had someone that sings in a band, and she's very, very still. She was very self-conscious, and she loved it when people got up to dance, because then that meant they weren't paying that close of attention to her.
There's that. Singing. Yeah.
Like, no, that's not it. So I thought I'd do the song that you that started it, that you first heard and that calmed you down? Traveling in a fried out Combi on a hippie trail, head full of zombies. Met a strange lady, she made me nervous, but she took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, "Do you come from a land down under, where women glow and men blunder? Can't you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover." Buying bread from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4", full of muscle. I said, "Do you speak my language, brother?" He just smiled, gave me a Vegemite sandwich. He said, "I come from a land down under, where beers flow and men chunder. Can't you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover." Lying in a den in Bombay, with a slack jaw, not much to say. Said to the man, "Are you trying to tempt me? 'Cause I come from land of plenty." He said, "Do you come from a land down under? Oh yeah, yeah, where women glow and men plunder. Can you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover. Living in a land down under. Oh, oh. Women glow and men plunder. Can you hear the thunder? Better run, better take cover. Better run, better take cover.
You laid off the loud ending.
Yeah, I did.
I was ready to adjust down.
No, take it easy on you. Yeah, I have another way to end that song when I'm out and open mics, because it's just fun. Kind of freak people out.
Well, especially when you're outside, you just kind of let it rip.
Let it go.
So,
but yeah, that was the first song I played for you guys.
Mhm.
That was pretty funny. I looked up and I saw this look like, oh wow, okay. I thought, oh man, they remember the song, and then it's like, no, we're just glad you can sing.
Well, I love Men at Work, and it took me a minute to figure out what you were playing, because it's very different.
Yeah, that was my favorite song when I was a kid. That was
Mhm.
everybody's favorite song in 1981. But and I mean, I played it over and over. I've had the album and I played it over, and I remember when I was putting together a set list, and all of a sudden I was thinking, why don't I do And I hit my head. Why didn't I do Down Under? And I go get the chords and I'm playing it and I'm trying to do it the way I remembered it. And I was like, this sounds stupid for
Yes.
So I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't do this. So then I'm on YouTube and I'm like, oh man. And I'm going through all the, it's a mistake and overkill. And I'm like, this is cool. And then I see Down Under live and I went, oh, and it's Colin Hay playing acoustically by himself. And he plays it a lot like that. And I went, oh, that's it. And I started playing, and it was like different. And one person made the mention of this. She goes, I love it when you play Down Under because it's almost different every time you play it.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Because I don't even realize it. I just kind of go with, it's one of those songs that, I do it different every time. And it's just the tempo. Like one time I was playing it and my wife looked at me and she goes, oh, speed it up. And I went, no, just that for that reason, for some reason that time I wanted to slow it down. Just felt like it. And she's like, it was slow. And I said, I know, but
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one of the songs I do that. I just feel so. It's like I remember being 11 years old doing a concert in my room, and I can actually see my room at the time. It's pretty cool. I remember the first time I did that on stage, and I was up there, and I was like, oh my gosh! I remembered where my stereo was, the wallpaper, the shelves, and everything was just kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the thing is, you'll discover that because if you want to play something exactly like the original, first of all, I think that's boring. But you're gonna have to get yourself a band, to do it. Yeah. Otherwise, you got to sit there and okay, so this doesn't work.
There has to be.
So I got to make a change.
It's you just have to kind of make it yours without totally. I mean, I remember one time I was in a band where we played Cocaine. Oh my God, the way we played it was nothing like the original. Because the guy got bored. The guitar player goes, all right, this song is boring, and I'm the one playing it.
Yeah.
So we changed it.
It's so simple.
Sounded Sunshine of Your Love. I remember that's what it was. Because it did not sound anything like it. And then one time we were playing Paranoid. Another band we were playing Paranoid, and we did it because, you're in LA, you're in a rock band, you have to play Paranoid. It's law. And the drummer was like almost ready to just ditch it because he just didn't enjoy it anymore. So I said, the guy wants, so the guitar player, the drummer wanted to take a break. And I said, all right, well, let's do Paranoid real fast. And then we'll go take a break. And he goes, fine. And he sped it up so we can get through it fast. And we're like, okay, that was fine. That was cool. And that's the way we did it from then on. So you just got to, do it your way.
Yeah. Well, a couple of weeks ago, like we say, open mic tomorrow, Blast. You need to come out and check it out. A couple of weeks ago, Truman Provincia was up there with the band, and they were doing a song that, I could feel my soul dying at the very beginning. Hotel California. If you're a musician, you're probably burned out of it.
Yes.
If you've ever been a KJ, and I was a KJ, you almost want to hang yourself every time you hear that song.
It's like you hear that song and it's like this sense of dread comes over you.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's a wonderful, beautiful, incredible, one of the greatest songs of all time. You just get burned out.
It's so overdone by everybody.
Yeah.
And they started doing this, and they did it. It was similar to there's a punk band that does it that way, and they were doing it that way, and it's totally different.
Well, the thing is that he started it the exact way that everybody's heard it, and we're sitting there, and a bunch of us are going, oh dear God, he's not going to do this. And all of a sudden you hear 1, 2, 3, and I'm sitting there going, okay, he has my attention.
Yeah, everything got changed up.
We were all checking out, man. We're like, what? And all of a sudden we're like, what? And it was fun.
Yeah,
nothing. The one perfect way to describe it: fun. Everybody was into it. It was like we're like, dude. First we wanted to hang you.
Yep.
And then you did cool. And he goes, yeah, he was so proud of himself too. And the way everybody reacted, he's looking at it going, yeah, I got you guys. That was awesome. He had so much fun with that.
Yeah. So we're going to have a star come down here to Cruces soon.
Okay. Keep
an eye out. And no, I'm not going to make that joke. I want to make that joke so bad.
Go ahead.
Unless you're a Jew. I
don't know it's gonna be that bad.
Allegedly. I don't know for sure. I know what he said on film, and he was drunk and eating a cheeseburger in a really disturbing way. But allegedly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Mel Gibson is coming to Cruces to film a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay, we know that he's a little nuts. I don't know. Yeah, he's gonna be doing a movie with let's see, directed by Michael Oblowitz. He's going to be starring in this with Kate Bosworth, Dominic Purcell, and Nick Stahl. Dominic Purcell is awesome. And yeah, so it's currently in production, Las Cruces. I don't know when he will be down here.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because it's Albuquerque Journal story, and
yeah,
the only paper that does a worse job on some of these stories than the Las Cruces Sun News, which I write for, so I can say that, is the Albuquerque Journal.
Yeah.
So
sometimes we got to remind them Las Cruces is part of New Mexico.
yeah,
they try to forget.
So he's coming down there and doing that. Meanwhile, this came up from the Sun News. John Payton, he's a comedian. He is going to be coming down to Cruces and doing a regular series of performances. I didn't know this. He was born and raised in Albuquerque.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. He's been, he was a writer for Wonder Years Home Improvement. He is working on a Vegas style comedy show to bring to Las Cruces and other New Mexico venues. Let's see. He explained that his career started in Albuquerque, where he was discovered by Bud Freeman, founder of the Comedy Club.
The Improv.
Yeah, the Improv. He started touring with him. His wife and his family. He's decided to relocate him back to New Mexico.
Oh wow.
With the pandemic, he came down here for that, and he's going to stay. So his next creation is the Atomic Comedy Company in New Mexico, with the goal of hosting comedy shows in the Southwest, including Albuquerque, Las Cruces, Taos, Farmington, Tucson, and other stops in California, and more to come. Wow. The first Cruces show coming up will be July 27th, the Rio Grande Theater.
Okay.
He'll be taking the stage along with Kurt Fletcher and Mark Doyle, and Mark Doyle is going to host. Yeah. That's cool. So
that's neat.
So yeah, as you can tell, the story just came up. So I'm reading it. I'm trying to read this as if I already knew all this information, which I don't know. Yeah, this is cool. He says, quote, comedy is like live music. You just can't replace the experience of live performance and being in a room full of people all laughing at the same time. It's a very rewarding experience, which is why comedy clubs became so popular in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
And we're hoping after all this pandemic and political polarity in the world that we get back to making people laugh and having a good time.
It is interesting. I've been to the Improv in LA. The world famous Improv, and eating at Hell's Kitchen right before the show and everything. I've seen some great no-name comedians come up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember Sarah Silverman was one of the comedians, and I remembered her because she was very funny and she was a little unique. That's the big thing, is she had something unique. And I remember all of a sudden seeing her later and go, oh my gosh, she was like this, starving, comedian coming up to the Improv and stuff. And just amazing. I have seen David Fleischer, who did the voice for Roger Rabbit. He came out and just wanted to do a set. And of course I'm like, yeah, go ahead. So the show was supposed to end at a certain time. Well, it didn't, because he wanted to go up there, and he went for like a half an hour just off the top of his head, throwing stuff out. And it was funny. That place there is something about being in an environment where a bunch of people, you tend to laugh a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Than you sitting by yourself watching.
Well, and you'll laugh at stuff that normally you might not find funny, but because of everybody you're around, laughter is infectious.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so healthy.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much when COVID was at its height. But,
no, it was important because I remember you didn't want
to laugh in a room full of strangers where they're laughing right back at you.
True.
You might as well have been spitting on each other.
Because in the COVID time, Kathy and I, we would sit there. We went through a couple of days where we just watched every comedian special that we could find.
Oh yeah.
Because even ones we've seen already, because you just had to laugh.
Yeah.
And it is amazing how you'll just lose yourself for a little while. You lose everything outside for a little while. And I remember one time, Freddie Freeman came in and said, the idea here is to forget out there while you're in here.
Yeah.
And
by the way, there's new comedy on streaming services.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, Bill Burr has a new one up on Netflix, which I watched last night. I'm losing my mind because he's so funny. And Taylor Tomlinson has a new special on HBO Max, along with a new series that she's doing as well. So I think that's on Peacock, the series. Yeah. But I think the comedians are going to find a place for
Yeah.
themselves. As we're kind of getting
We're
burned out
getting-
of all the ugly, and
It is.
we're still dealing
yeah.
with the aftermath of a lot of ugly
Mhm.
that we're still gonna have to deal with.
There's a lot of ugly going on now, so
There's got to be some time that you step back, and you have to have a good time and laugh and relax.
exactly.
So if you want to go see his show,
That'd be
go
cool.
to riograndetheater.org. You'll have the information for purchasing
Yeah.
tickets. That's July 27th will be the first show. So that's gonna be kind of cool. And also, since we haven't been on the air for the last 2 weeks,
Mhm.
we want to give a special birthday shout out to Barbara Hubbard,
Yes.
who turned 95 years
My
old.
goodness, and apparently not aging.
No. She looks the same as she has
Yeah.
forever, and she still moves
just-
around so
yeah.
well.
Great lady.
Yeah, she's neat. The whole Hubbard family is awesome, and they're going to be doing a special celebration for her in October.
Good, wonderful,
So,
absolutely wonderful.
yeah.
'Cause that's a great. That's one of those families here that is
Mhm.
one of the great shining gems of this town.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're
She was the main voice for bringing in different acts when she was working at the Pan Am Center.
That's awesome.
And her family's always been into music. Her son, I think Drew is her
Yeah,
son.
I believe so.
Yeah, Drew Hubbard is running a Hubbard's music store over here.
Yeah, great
And
guy.
like I say, really, seriously, go in there.
Go in there,
And you don't have to buy. You can go in there and not even be looking at buying. Just go in there and try out different things and try things. Ask them. They'll sit there and tell you everything they know.
the first time I went in there, I was looking around at some of the guitars, and I'm just like, okay. And I had my hands behind my back because some of them were like
Yes.
expensive, and I'm like, okay, I'm not. And he's like,
Oh yeah.
pull one down, play it, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? Pull it down, play it. And I'm like, he goes, yeah, man, there's a stool over there. Plug it in if you want. Just like,
Well, he knows I'm country.
yeah.
So the last time I was in there, he's like, "Did you see the Brad Paisley Fender that we have?" I was like, "No." So he took me over there, and it's a distressed Fender. It's awesome because it's brand new,
yeah.
but they distressed it. So there's places where it looks like the paint has chipped off. Well, it hasn't, but they chipped the paint
Yeah,
and then they
it's stressed.
sealed it.
Yeah,
They patinaed some of the
Mhm.
one of the pickups. It's open and raw.
yeah,
Which
it's
is weird looking.
It's cool. Yeah, he sent a picture of it. That was
It's
wicked cool.
it's awesome. And
That place
he's
is
like, yeah,
wonderful.
mess with it.
I went in there and I saw Wolfgang, and I was like,
Hmm.
because that was the guitar I decided to get my Music Man over the Wolfgang. I mean, at the time, it's a newer Wolfgang, so it's really got a little bit different sound, but he's got some good stuff in there.
Yeah, he had a Gretsch resonator guitar in there that was all metal. It's
Yeah.
$1,000. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I really want to. And he's like, play it.
Yeah.
And it was gorgeous. It sounded so good because it's so loud, especially with it all being metal.
Drew's not the only one, because there's another guy. I can never remember his name. I don't remember his name. I
Mhm.
can never remember it when I go in there. But the guy's a jerk, okay? Because he tells me, "Oh, try that one over there."
Oh, no,
and I
he's
pull down
just evil.
carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah, evil, mean. Because then I play it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And its sound was resonating. It was
Yes.
full. It was beautiful. And then he tells me how much it is, and I wanted to smack him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna find some stuff that's pretty high end over there. You're also gonna find
Yes.
stuff that's a decent price.
There are some acoustic guitars that are absolutely beautiful, and they
Yeah.
are not extremely expensive, which is great. He'll do it all.
Yeah.
And if there's something that you don't see, talk to him.
Mhm. Yeah, I would have loved to have bought a guitar from him when I was looking for this, but he had two 12 strings in there, and they were both Fenders,
Mm.
and I don't like Fender acoustic sound.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people do. It hits my ear
Yeah.
wrong, and God, I'm glad I pulled the trigger on this thing. But
Just remember, I think it was CW. I'm pretty sure CW said he was, I'm not really into Gibsons. And he goes, but that's not a Gibson. So let me try it.
Right, yeah.
The guitar that I built, and he
Yeah.
liked it. He played it, and he had fun with it. So that
oh
was cool.
yeah, yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, we got a bunch
lost in
going
that. We
on.
could talk about that all day. But
Yeah.
well, next week we're hoping that we won't be
it's
by ourselves.
Pretty well set that Dwight.
Okay, making sure I have
I
the
was
right
like,
person. Dwight Dixon.
What's the name? Yeah,
who
Dwight Dixon's going to
is
come on. I don't know
Oh,
what we're
that's-
going to be talking about. We've talked about doing some music theory, but I also know that he wants to come on and play.
He wants to ramp up. He's trying to ramp up his solo act,
Mhm.
and doesn't matter what we're talking about. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah,
We can count on it.
yeah,
He is a great musician. Love hearing him play as a bass player. He makes it all look so easy.
yeah.
But
And he started playing some solo stuff. He's playing out
Yeah.
the farmers market.
That's
every
right.
weekend.
and then he's opening up open mic by playing a few songs first. And I'll tell you right now, as much as then you got to meet him, because as great a musician as he is, he's even a better person.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, as a person, he's just as good, if not better person than he is a musician. That says a lot.
oh yeah.
Love the guy. He's become, a great friend of mine. When I met him years ago, when I started going to the a couple years ago, when I started going to the open mic,
Mhm.
first day I met him, he treated me like I was a fellow musician,
Yeah.
and now we're friends. And I
Oh,
like
please.
calling him my friend because he is. It's great.
From the first day, him and Red Whiting, who does the
Yeah.
drums out there, they both
Yeah.
treated me like fellow musicians,
Yeah,
and I could barely play anything. I know I sucked,
Red is a great guy.
but they've
Yeah.
never treated me any
No.
different than they have. One of the big names that comes in
Yep.
that's here in town, or a big name that comes through.
Yeah.
They treat everybody the same way with a lot of love.
Yeah.
So they're
It's a community,
It-
and
it's
they are
all love.
definitely it's all love, and we have a great time. So yeah, you got to come out. Hopefully I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'm not sure.
yeah. And of
'Cause-
course, if you don't play,
yeah,
they have great beers and wines.
yes, and you can
and
sit
good music.
and enjoy.
And if you don't drink, they have sodas.
Yeah.
And they have amazing tacos.
Yes, there's a taco truck that shows up, and they are fantastic.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy the other day. We got stuck at Walmart trying to Uber order. We won't make that mistake again. But we got
Yeah.
talking, and he's actually friended me on Facebook.
Cool.
So he'll know the show is up if he has. I don't think he's watching it now. He's probably working
Yeah.
right now.
It's-
But he doesn't drink. But I says, yeah, they got tacos.
last Thursday I played at Dun Felix from 5 to 8, and I was done at 8, packed up, and it was not too many people showed up, but I made
Mhm.
just enough in tips so I can order tacos.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I counted it up, and the first thing I think, cool, I got enough for tacos. I was all excited.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad when you're going out to a music thing. Music is your addiction, and your main focus is tacos.
Yes.
So
That's living here. That's what that is.
yeah.
I had somebody on my Facebook who lives in California. I think they still live in California. And they were talking about great tacos. And I'm like, they're talking about tacos in the area. I'm like, no. I live in New Mexico. We got you beat.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you right now, we got you beat.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're talking about tacos and they're
Oh,
rolled in a
yeah.
flour tortilla, don't talk to me about tacos.
Well, now there are some. Actually, I make carne asada that I love flour tortillas better.
Well, that's a different
but
type of taco.
there's, oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, so come on out. There's places to hear, and I will be moving my daughter. So y'all have fun.
Yeah.
Don't want to do this.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what they say? The great philosopher. I don't want to tell you who it is because it's bad. It's always darkest before it goes completely black.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Hannibal from the 18.
Oh God.
So we've
Can't
just
believe I
dated
didn't remember
ourselves.
that. Oh, we can go a whole show on that too.
No lie.
All right.
But you guys have a great week. BJ, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. We'll do it
Yeah.
again next
We'll
week with
hit it
Dwight
again.
Dixon.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Cool.
See you guys later.
Take care.